in theaters now is The Outfit, starring Mark Rylance, and this is a little thriller. This is a tight little one location suspense thriller where Mark Rylance plays a cutter, not a tailor, a cutter, who is a man who makes suits for people. And he lives in Chicago. He runs this little quaint shop. He's British. He has left England for various reasons. He says blue jeans. He says blue jeans put him out of business in England, so he's come to America to do finely crafted suits. And in order to, get by, he has this little black box in the back of his shop where smartly dressed men who might have a little bulge in their coat come in and drop envelopes, and once in a while they pick them up. He asks no questions. He just he allows this to occur and is rewarded for that financially. And one day, one of these gangsters who has visited early on an envelope pickup is brought in by another gangster to his shop, two young gangsters, as it were, brought in his shop suffering a fresh bullet wound, and suddenly this cutter who never wanted to be involved, didn't want to know anything, liked the plausible deniability, is now part of the issue. He's part of welcome to the family, as they say. He now has to help keep these two guys safe, help keep this wounded man alive, and things begin to spin out of control, shall we say. And this quiet craftsman finds himself very much involved in some brutal gangland action. So this was a film that I'd seen the trailer for a few times. Mark Rylance is very widely regarded as a pretty great actor as far as stage and screen, and he is the centerpiece of this film. He's quiet, understated, focused on his work, dedicated to his work, doesn't veer off the straight and narrow. He has a young female receptionist assistant who is who's from Chicago, looks down upon the gangland lifestyle and is looking to go off to greener pastures. And it took me a little while to figure out when this was set. Very brown tones, and watching it, if they don't mention anything, you're like, is it the 30s? Is it the 40s? Is it the 50s? Is it the early 60s? They sort of pinpoint that it's somewhere in the mid to late 50s, I believe. But it all takes place in one location. Now, I am someone who has this weird predilection or weird tick or whatever you want to call it, that I can always spot British or Australian actors doing an American accent. I see the cracks in that. Now, sometimes you never would know, but sometimes I can hear it because I watch a lot of British TV, and there are certain isms that the British or Australian actors will do to be American vocally that bug me. And when I saw the trailer, I saw some of those things, and I was just like, oh God, I'm not going to be able to handle an hour and a half of bad American accents. Luckily, they're not that bad in the movie. It's there. The isms are there, but the movie was so good it didn't really bother me. Did I mention I like this? Watching the trailer and watching the movie, I really wondered, was this based on a play? Because this really feels like it could be a play, because you really have like one set. I think maybe once or twice, very, very briefly, you see the exterior of the shop. Otherwise, it is entirely set in this cutter shop, this suit shop, this bespoke shop. And that just, to me, always feels like it maybe had been originally sourced for the stage. But it's written for the screen. In the end credits, I watched to see if it was based on a play, and it said it was shot at a theater in England. So perhaps it was done on a stage or a place where they do plays or something. But this easily could be a play. Maybe one day it will be. But it's very limited in characters. It's just a handful of characters. It takes place over the course of maybe a day tops. I think the setup is maybe one day, and actually it might even be sort of a 24-hour period now that I think about it. Performances are very good. The ratcheting up of tension is really good. I did not expect the level of, oh boy, they're screwed. How are they going to get out of this? Oh, I think they just figured it out. Oh no, now they're more screwed. And it's Rylance trying to be the calm, civil, impartial character that he is throughout the film, but avoid being on the receiving end of a pistola for his involvement or lack of cooperation in his involvement as more characters enter the mix and certain incidents are tried to talk around or cover up. So I thought this was really good. This is a movie for grown-ups, which is not to say somebody younger might not enjoy it, but it's nice always for me to see something that I feel like an adult, somebody well older than me, would want to go see in the theater and not be, have to roll their eyes at. It's a story about pretty much grown-ups in grown-up situations, but it's good. Like this is really good. This is the kind of thing where as soon as I was over, I'm like, okay, these older relatives of mine, I'm going to immediately tell they should go see this, because it's a movie that is not about explosions and flaming cars doing corkscrews in the air. Although I would welcome that in any film, or lasers in outer space and things, or CGI. It's people in a very realistic situation dealing with it pretty realistically. Now, it has a twist at the end that was a little unbelievable for me. What precipitates the revelation of a little bit more information toward the end of the movie seemed a little unrealistic, but it was satisfying. And it almost makes me wish there was a sequel to this that continues in that vein and does ratchet it up a little bit. But I thought Mark Rylance and the entire cast, really, of The Outfit, not to be confused with the early 70s Virgil Tibbs, Sidney Poitier sequel to In the Heat of the Night. This Outfit, in theaters now. I don't know how hard it's going to be to see. I saw this at an AMC. I think it's part of what they call their AMC Artisan series, which is where they kind of promote smaller indie films. But I thought it was quite good. So your mileage may vary, but it's pretty much odds on that The Outfit will be a good fit for you.